Alrighty, boys, we have a big one. It is the 2024 roadmap from Com2us devs. It's a full video, 11 minutes long. I'll make sure to link the video down below. We're not going to watch the whole video together, but I did put out some bullet points of some of the more important things to cover. It's good. There's a lot of really good stuff in here. I'm happy with a lot of the stuff that they're doing, a lot of stuff that they're adding. The game has felt a little bit stale as of late, so I am glad that we're hopefully going to be breathing some fresh life into the game here in the near future. So 2024 roadmap, I'm hoping that they continue this up. Originally, when the game first started, we were getting roadmaps like for like every 3 months or so. We were starting to get roadmaps and they just completely fell off with doing that. So having these sort of roadmaps is really a big thing for developers. So I hope Com2us marketing team, Com2us developers do watch our videos. You know, Barcode, Farmer, myself, just roadmaps are great. So please keep those going. Okay. So we're going to start out with the January updates, and first and foremost, we've got new assassin. We've known that Heathe is coming, and he is officially coming in January. Heathe is going to be an assassin type summoner, so he's going to be having a new mechanic, which is going to be a stealth mechanics. Now, how that stealth mechanic acts up in game, we will see. Maybe he can't be targeted with something. Maybe he can't have debuffs landed on him during that stealth time. We'll see how that interacts with a lot of stuff. So if it's just that you can't target him and still AoE effects and still hit him, then we'll see. If it's anything like Soletta, he'll probably be really broken when he first comes out, and then they'll, you know, notch him down a couple steps, much like they did with Soletta. While Soletta is still, you know, top of the list as far as summoners go, she did get knocked down a little bit. So we'll see how the stealth mechanic goes. As you can see up on the screen, though, Fairy King is next. So Fairy Kings were a staple monster in Summoners War Sky Arena. They went in and out of the meta. So they're pretty cool. They have a lot of cool different abilities. This one in particular, actually, when he dies, he like revives and does like one last AoE big blast. So we'll see how that mechanic plays into this game. But yeah, Fairy Kings will be coming up next. Funny, we just had Fairy Queens. So Fairy Kings will be up next. And this should be early January. So I would expect this banner might be the very next banner right after the Fairy Queen banner is over once January starts up. So we'll have to see about that. We are going to be getting some new field dungeons in the Sierra area. So Sierra was Soletta's area. It was that new area of the map. We did a couple dungeons. It wasn't anything great. Nobody ever goes there anywhere for anything now. So they are adding some areas that we'll be able to field farm and do some dungeons and things like that. So this will be good, having some stuff to do in Sierra. They were saying in the video that they're going to be focusing less on puzzles and gimmicks and more on combat, which I personally like. I was kind of looking forward to the new Galagos a little bit because it did seem more just like lots and lots of waves of relatively easy monsters. I kind of like that feel, kind of like a Diablo, you know, Path of Exile sort of feel where you're just mowing through hordes of enemies. And it's fun. It is enjoyable. So I'm hoping that their dungeons maybe start to teeter in that direction just a little bit. The next major thing we saw up here was new Path of Growth difficulties. So looks like they're going to be dropping guaranteed 6-star legendary runes, which is going to be really big because, as you know, we still get tons and tons of purple runes, and you'll see in a little bit why purple runes are basically useless at this point. We are getting a new rune type, a more advanced rune type, but this just dropping straight up legendary runes is going to be really nice. I know most of us that have been playing for a year can easily quick battle all of the current hard mode floors, so having something that we can actually farm for guaranteed legendary runes is definitely going to be worth our time. Speaking of the new runes, we are getting Mythic Runes. So Mythic Runes are going to be essentially the same as Legend Runes, except that they are going to have one additional stat. This is very similar to Sky Arena, except Sky Arena doesn't have another tier of Mythic Runes. They just have regular Legend Runes that have what's called an innate stat, or a stat that's just sort of built into the top of the rune itself. So in this case, it is a whole separate tier of rune, and it's going to come with an additional stat. So that's going to be interesting. Obviously, we're gonna have to upgrade all of our legendary runes now to keep up with these new runes. Now, thankfully, we are going to be getting a reroll function with these mythic runes. So I wonder if it's just Mythic Runes. They didn't necessarily say, but I think this is going to be for legendary as well, but you'll be able to take your rune and essentially re-roll certain parts of it, which is really nice because sometimes you just get that perfect rune and it just has that precision stat, or it has that flat attack stat or something like that. And you just would love to be able to change that, or it quad rolls into that flat stat and you just like, man, can I take that quad roll and turn it into crit damage? That would be nice. So we are finally getting a little bit more improvement on the rune system. Again, it doesn't quite make sense why we like started at nothing with our rune system here in this game, whereas Sky Arena has spent nearly the last decade perfecting their rune system, and it's at a really incredible spot right now. But yet we're not taking any cues from Sky Arena on how to do runes. So not sure what's going on there. The disconnect with these two separate projects, Chronicles and Sky Arena, but maybe take some notes, Chronicles team, and let's continue to look at what Sky Arena is doing and emulate and model what they're doing. Okay, so some really, really cool stuff with the runes. We'll get some more transmogs here for different monsters. I never cared too much about that. Korea is finally, I mean, we've known it's coming. Korea and Global are finally joining together. So Korea will actually be a part of the sort of Asia region servers. So yeah, we are, Korea's always been a month, 2-3 months ahead. We're at a point now to where Global, NA, and Korea are just like a week or two behind Korea. So we're finally there to where Global and Korea is going to get merged. It's not going to happen until Q2, but we are going to have some preparation before that happens. Some of the preparation that they were going to be doing included making sure the battle pass was, the pricing of, because the Korea battle pass is way cheaper, so they're going to increase the price of the battle pass in order to, sort of compensate that. But they're also going to increase the level of rewards, the value of the summoner's pass. Big value, right? The value of the summoner's pass to begin with. So I'm sure we're going to feel that here in Global as well as in North America. We'll see those increased rewards in the summoner's pass. In my opinion, we have way too many battle passes, and more of these battle pass values should be brought into a singular summoner's pass, right? Sure, make it slightly more expensive, make it $15, whatever you want, but add more and more value to that summoner's pass. It just is a bad look having 5+ battle passes for your video game. Have one pass, maybe two. Okay, one pass and you get a ton of value, and you need to make it like you can't play the game, without it, right? You need to have so much value in that pass, not this 5 pass stuff, because now it's just looking like you're some cheap mobile game that I get a spammy ad for. So let's just be careful with the number of passes that we're offering players. I know some players are going to buy it, but we just need to be careful with that. So this is that special summoner's pass. It's not an additional pass. They're just increasing the value of that pass. We are getting full auto challenge arena, which I am not excited for, mostly just because I'm Cleef, and Cleef is just going to get destroyed in regular auto challenge arena, because Cleef is just a tank that is not tanky. He's just the way he is. So hopefully this rework that we're going to see here in a little bit is going to make Cleef a little bit better. But yeah, full auto, meaning that you just have to pick the right team, hop in there and see what happens, which is what Korea's been dealing with for a long time. So we're gonna feel that next. Now you will be able to manually control if you have a challenge. So as you know, in arena, you'll typically have a couple offenses that you can challenge, and they're significantly stronger than you. And most of the time, if you have the right strategy, you can take those. You'll get more rewards from taking those, but you'll also be able to manual those challenges. So that's kind of cool, I guess. That was mostly in January. Now the Korea Global merging thing, they're prepping. They're not going to merge them just yet. That's not until Q2, but they are prepping, doing some preparation for the merge. So that is all in January. So that was a lot just in January. So a lot to look forward to in the next month. One of the things that they wanted to do was increase the account level rewards. As you guys know, like, we get some really pitiful rewards for leveling up your account. Like, that's a big deal. You either spend a ton of money to level up your account, or you're grinding like crazy with your monsters to get that account level up. So they have heard our complaints, and they are going to be increasing the account level rewards. Now, they didn't really just want to throw out more currency, and honestly, I agree with them. I'm like, we can farm currency, like, give us something to truly show off our achievement. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to be giving us skins or transmogs. kind of like in Sky Arena, where, you know, you reach a certain level in Brawl or the RTA system, and you'll get a skin, right? And when you wear that skin, it's like, hey, that's a badge of honor for doing so well, right? More crystals, we can buy more crystals, right? We can buy these things if you're a whale or if you spend a lot of money. But these are things that you can't buy, right? You have to earn them and achieve them. So that's, in my opinion, a good thing. We should be adding more achievement-based transmog skins. As you can see, more skins right here. Here's our boy Heath here, looking a little less powerful than he did in some of the artwork, but there is the squad again. And we also have some new rides coming along with that account level. So they are also increasing the account level reward. So this is like in addition. So we're getting all these transmogs as a part of the account level. So those of you that are like account level 60, maybe 65, I think I'm level 66, should be getting a lot of these rewards retroactively. So we should get a nice little heap of rewards, plus, you know, some of these transmogs if we reach a certain level, right? Now, once you get past like account level 66, 67, and I'm a very light spender, so you can kind of see where most people are at. It's really hard to get account level after that. So I'm still hoping that they're going to give us a much better way to get more account level. Like if you're brawling, if you're, you know, challenge arena, if you're doing all your stuff daily, like they should be giving us more account points to level up our accounts. So unicorns is another very meta monster that's been in Sky Arena for a long time. They have a really unique skill, which is a transformation skill, kind of like the Beast Riders, but for the unicorns, it's an at-will transformation. So you transform into a more sort of like a regular like fairy girl, and then you can switch back to your unicorn form, and they have different skills and abilities and resistances and things based off of what form you're in. So typically, though, with these unicorns, they're very like, they can use a lot of turns over and over, right? So they'll transform and then they'll switch to another form and they'll get another turn, right? So that's a kind of a big thing with the unicorn. So I'm not sure how they're going to implement that here, but it'll be cool to be able to see your monster be able to transform in the middle of battle, maybe on a skill, and then use some new abilities and skills. So we do have unicorns coming. Upgrading the Spires of Ascension. So this is nice. I've completed 160. A lot of us have completed the 160 floors. It's a good challenge. It is definitely a good challenge. But we definitely need to continue to increase that, continue to give us more and more challenges there in Spires. We also need to be able to fill out the rest of our powers of ascension. If you go to your trial of ascension, you go over the left-hand side, there's those powers that you've been purchasing. We can't really finish those right now with the amount of spires that we have. So we need more spires so we can get more coins and currency so we can purchase more powers of ascension. So that is good. We need more PvE content like that for our PvE friends that love that PvE content. Definitely need that. So the monster affinity system, or the buddy system that we had implemented the last couple weeks, it's fine, but it's really done nothing. Like there's not a lot to it. Maybe there's one or two monsters you're able to change the book stats for, and that was kind of useful, I guess, but most monsters are pretty decent with the book stats that they have. So with the new monster affinity system, they wanted to buff it, and the devs are going to be adding in some more additional rewards, but also they're going to be adding in just stats, like straight up stats. It says players can obtain rewards or stats, which is what I like to hear, is that, hey, if I'm, you know, utilizing this monster a lot in different dungeons or whatever, I should be earning that affinity, and then I should be getting some form of stats along with that affinity, right? Or some additional bonus, like 50,000 gold coins, like, you know, a couple hundred crystals or whatever. That just doesn't seem like a good reward for me to be utilizing these monsters. And that affinity system, it takes a long time to level up those monsters. So I'm glad that they are buffing the affinity system. Give us more of a reason to level up the affinity or the bond between our monsters. So, all right, moving on into March. March is when we're going to be getting our global anniversary. So global is arguably our biggest group of players. It was our biggest launch. And so hopefully our anniversary event is going to be the same. It's going to be a large anniversary event. So this is going to be a really cool one. There evidently is going to be a pick your own LD event. So that's going to be pretty cool. You're going to be able to essentially have like 6 different options, I believe. and it's called a pickup event. You're gonna have like 6 different options, and I think there's some of the earlier LDs too. It's not some of the later LDs, but most of the earlier LDs that originally came out with the game. There's still some incredibly meta monsters. Maybe we can have a separate video and talk about which LD that you should go for. But monsters like, Eleanoa, right? Those things are gonna be hot pickups. So we're gonna see how this event actually plays out. But it's really, really cool for a lot of us that don't have any. We have a lot of LDs, but we don't have any meta LD monsters that really help us perform in arena PvP or regular PvE content. So really awesome that they're giving out another LD Nat 5 to people that don't have it. So a couple more things. We are beginning a new world boss, which is extremely exciting to me because the current world boss, let's be honest, is trash. It's 100% trash. It's an RNG fest. It doesn't encourage you to replay it over and over to learn the boss's moves. It's just, do it 30 times and hopefully one of your runs is super successful and you're able to get that S plus SS or triple S, whatever you're looking to do, or just have the most incredibly OP monsters and runes, and maybe one of those runs you'll end up doing well. So I hate the boss. If you haven't watched any of my streams, most of us creators and most of my chat, we hate that boss. So I'm glad that they're changing it up. And hopefully it's going to be a little bit more, combat oriented in the sense that we can learn this boss and then we can do better at it each time, right? Another big one is World Arena. So they are going to be beta testing in February, the World Arena. So essentially, Southeast Asia players, European players, NA players, Korea players, all of us will be eventually, hopefully they're looking at March to be in one big World Arena sort of list, right? It's going to be big. It's going to set a lot of us down the ladders pretty far. I know myself. Typically, top 100 or so with PvP, I'm going to be dropping straight down. But it's going to be really cool to be able to fight against other metas too. If you haven't watched some other content creators, there's a lot of different metas across the different regions. So it's really going to be kind of cool to see a lot of those line up and really fizzle into one. We do have collaboration event. We did get debated with the 7 Dragon Ball Z possibility. So we're not going to be getting that, but we are getting some sort of high tier anime collaboration. So we're going to have to see what that is. This is our first little teaser, right? So if you guys have any idea what this might be, you can put your guesses down in the comment section. I have zero idea. I'm still pretty noob when it comes to getting caught up with all my animes, but hopefully, and it seems like when I was watching it that the developers know that they really messed up with the last collaboration event and that they're not going to repeat that. So I'm hoping from here on out, collaborations are going to be good for everybody, including free-to-play players, and that we can just have a fun time with new monsters from our favorite animes. In the second quarter, we have quite a few things coming. In the second quarter, they do want to merge the Asia and Korea servers. So they're prepping before, and they're going to be merging in the second quarter. So that's going to be a big merge to see how that goes, because they have been 2 separate regions for a long time. Korea has been on its own set of patch notes. So it'll be really nice that Korea is not a couple months ahead, and they're all just on the same patch notes. We will be getting a new raid boss for our guild, and it looks like they're going to be doing this pretty often, once every quarter or so, and we'll be getting a new raid boss. So as you guys know, we started out with the original raid boss. We now have the Kabuto beetle raid boss right now for guilds, and it looks like this giant wolf monster is going to be the next one in April or May. Player housing. So every good, decent, or half-baked MMO needs a housing system, and Summoner's War Chronicles is no different. So we are going to be able to furnish our houses and be able to invite friends, and hopefully it's a little bit more than just enjoying the aesthetic of it, whereas that is totally cool. I'm glad they have that option for a lot of people, but we'll see how they implement it into this game. But personal housing, that'd be kind of cool. This is what I'm most excited for, which is the tournament system. Tournaments are something that I want to continue doing, but it's been really, really difficult with very little as far as help from developers, from marketing teams. So we will continue to try to put out more and more tournaments, but this system essentially is going to allow us all to host our own little mini tournaments within the game. So Sky Arena already has a really nice implementation of this, so it's really nice that we're going to be able to get something that's very officially built into the system to allow us to coordinate these tournaments more easily. So if we didn't already have difficult enough hero raids to be able to farm new sets, now we have advanced hero raid.
This isn't your average everyday darkness. This is advanced darkness.
So how in the world are they going to make these more and more difficult? Well, we'll just have to see. Even some of the top players don't enjoy hero raids all the time, because they, it takes a little bit of extra thought with some of these hero raids. But yeah, we're going to have advanced hero raid. I'm hoping it's going to be maybe something completely different and not just a harder version of the original raids that we have. That would be really nice, to just have a completely different boss and different dungeon. But knowing them, they're probably just going to, throw on some red paint everywhere and have the same exact bosses and just make it harder. They hit harder, they're harder to kill, whatever. So we'll see what advanced hero raids are, but that's going to be coming up second quarter. In third quarter, we are going to be getting a new continent, and it's not going to be like Sierra. It's going to be like a fresh Katana, essentially. It's going to be that same level or size of update. It's going to be huge. We're going to get a lot of new quests. We're going to get a lot of new side quests. Just overall a ton of rewards, more content, new dungeons, right? They're going to have a whole host of new dungeons as a part of this. So it'll be good to have, that fresh life into the game. But that is third quarter, right? We're looking towards the end of, summertime, end of summer, in order to get this release. Another raid boss. So like I was saying earlier, we'll be getting more raid bosses for our guild. So that way, guilds don't get too stale with the same boss over and over. A little bit of a new challenge. So this seems to be continuing the collaboration efforts here. So that they're going to be doing another collaboration. So if you guys have any idea what this collaboration might be, again, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And finally, the one that everybody wants to see, the new summoner, the warrior summoner. So we are finishing up, Heath is going to be the assassin, and we are finishing up our list of classes with the warrior monster. First thing I thought of was Berserker from the Fate Stay Night series, the newer ones. But yeah, he looks really, really dope. I'm going to say he. Evidently, they haven't decided if it's going to be a he or a she, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much. But I would like to for us to have another Giga Chad male character. We will have Heath, we'll have Cleef, and maybe we'll have one more. That would be nice. Nice, perfectly balanced. That pretty much wraps it up, guys. A lot of really fun content. Let me know down in the comments what you guys are most excited to see and most excited to, play around with. Are you guys going to be going straight for Heath and switching off whatever summoner you're on? Or are you going to stick with what you got and maybe wait for the warrior? Or you might just stick with what you got, right? I'm a Cleef main through and through. Heath might be the one that I switch to. We'll see. But I am a Giga Chad Cleef main, so I kind of just have to, stick it out while Cleef is kind of on the bottom of the barrel right now. But let me know if you guys have any thoughts, comments, questions about these updates. I'm excited to play them. I stream live as often as I can, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, I do Twitch as well, so you can head over to my Twitch channel. Links are down in the description, and make sure to go leave a follow over there as well. All right, guys, that's been Topher Smurf telling you to keep on gaming.